What ruined your Christmas? My dad's anger issues and mom forcing us to pretend nothing is happening. OMG, I feel this so much. My parents do this all the time. My dad would lash out and my mom would expect us to be soft spoken like her. The next day they'll both act like nothing happened and do nice things like cook us food, buy groceries, etc. I guess in an attempt to sweep everything under the rug. Like he didn't say hurtful things. Next thing you know, my mom would make me feel guilty about not talking to my dad for a whole month. Because nothing was resolved in the first place. My mother passed unexpectedly a few hours ago. Was in rehab for a minor stroke and broken leg. We suspected was another stroke. Edit. Thank you all for the kind words and support. I'm sorry to hear this. May your mom rest in peace. My mom started crying and causing drama because my sisters didn't stay up until midnight on Christmas Eve to celebrate Christmas early. She decided not to show up for breakfast and gift exchanges this morning and instead messaged us all morning saying no one loves her or cares about her. I love being guilt-tripped. The only thing it seems you're guilty of is being tired. My mother-in-law used to pull that shit. Then one Christmas morning she called to do her spiel. And God, you're right, we don't care. Don't expect to be invited next year. Christmas was awesome for years to come. Pretty sure I got food poisoning last night at dinner, so I spent all night in the bathroom with horrible stomach cramps all day today. Hugs. Don't hug too hard, more might come out. My sister's boss told her they were only open until 5, but they're actually open until 10, and she won't let my sister leave. Surprise 10-hour shift. So now my mom's watching a WWII documentary, and I'm on Reddit lol. Merry Christmas. This is the point where she should just walk out. A boss shouldn't do that to people. So sorry this happened to her. Yep, I was scheduled until 5. It is 5. See you tomorrow. This is the point where she should just walk out. Absadukin Ludley. Got plans. See ya. My mother's drinking. Edit. Thanks for the awards and kind words / messages. It hurts my heart to see how many people relate. Just know you all aren't alone. Same. It also ruins every day. My grandmother berating my sister and I in front of our whole family for not calling her on Christmas while we were FaceTiming her. My grandma has dementia. The last Mother's Day, before it got really bad and she needed to move to a nursing home, she downed a heap of vodka. By the time I called her in the afternoon to wish her happy Mother's Day, she was really annoyed at me because her gardener had called her first. Props to the gardener though, that guy would have had customers for the rest of their lives. I was reaching for a puzzle piece when something in my body decided to duck right off, and now I've got immense shoulder / neck / back pain. I keep trying to stretch it gently and move it as much as I can, but I'm pretty out of commission. A damn puzzle piece. I got paged on call engineer as the family was getting ready to eat our Christmas dinner. Later, I microwaved my plate and ate on my own before going back to my laptop. Ruined is a strong word, but I'm bitter about it. Did you get paid like triple time though? Nope, I'm on salary. Sometimes if on call is hectic I get a day off in lieu, but it won't happen this time. My parents are dead. I'm only 41, but lost my last parent in 2021. My boyfriend doesn't celebrate or really care. His grandma, more mama she raised him, died a couple years back. We are a new place with no friends or family. I don't have kids, twice widowed. It complicated. He never had kids either. My only real living relative is my sister. She lives 2 states away. We couldn't visit due to a COVID scare. The present she bought me, only present I was getting, got pilfered by porch pirates. I ordered Chinese food. My order was cancelled 5 minutes before arrival. Hug. My mom told us she has cancer and it's quite bad. My mom told me my dad is staring at prostate cancer and we are waiting for the biopsy. His prostate is huge compared to normal sized ones. Has him looking up WebMD, so he's talking about making memories. Makes my mom nervous, so it's got me a little shaken. We'll get official news within the week, but not soon enough to ease my heart. Good luck, stranger. May the odds be ever in your favor. Edit. Thank you, everyone who have offered their sincere thoughts and good wishes. I feel a little better with all the positive outcomes that other people have had. Again, thanks people. It's helped. My sister-in-law has been verbally berating her children all day. They're kids. It's Christmas. They're supposed to be hyper and excited. My mom brought up the diary I kept as a teenager years ago. That diary had detailed plans about me offing myself. She brought it up legit an hour ago in front of everyone. Have spent the last 2 hours in my room crying and feeling all sorts of emotions. I'm 25 now, but damn I feel all the feelings I left at that time and I don't know how to feel. Wow, why would she do that? That's awful, I'm sorry. Attention whoring. Also making herself feel better about herself. I can't imagine you would feel any way other than hurt and betrayed. I'm outraged on your behalf. My son passed away in October due to suicide. He was 20. I miss him terribly. I'm so sorry. May his memory be a blessing. My grandma fed my dog, who has serious digestion and other health problems, 5 Christmas cookies, and he not only shat and vomited all over the house, but had to go to the vet. Ugh. I hate this. My father-in-law basically killed his own dog by massively overfeeding him table scraps and shit. And then when my sister-in-law brings her dog over to visit, he's always trying to drop him food and he's like, oh, just a little won't hurt him. I didn't give him that much. He'll be fine. On like the 4th or 5th feeding, you know. Ducking, just respect the owner's instructions. It's not hard. My mom slipped on a patch of ice on her way into my house for breakfast and gifts this morning. She insisted she was fine, but after a few hours she could barely walk. Her foot is broken and may require surgery, so it looks like we'll be spending my birthday tomorrow in their hotel room. My Christmas wasn't ruined, but I feel awful that hers and my dad's basically was. Edit. Shout out to all my fellow December 26th birthday people. Happy birthday to us. Today is my 30th birthday, and it was already giving me feelings even without all this extra stuff. I'm just glad I was there to fall with her and protect her head from hitting the concrete. The bruised elbow was worth it. I'll pass along your well wishes to my mother. Girlfriend shaming me for taking a half day off work on Christmas Eve to see my family. Woke up to her making snide comments about how it must be nice to sleep in a bit. Then told me to run home to mommy. This was all unprovoked while I was laying in bed. Not as bad as a lot of stories here, but it's put a damper on the whole holidays. Run. 100%. You misspelled ex-girlfriend. Certainly not as awful as most stories here, but my son's pet frog died. He's 10 and he adored that frog. Poor kid was so sad. My dog passed away early Christmas morning. She had been sick for a couple weeks, so I knew it was coming, but it still ducking sucks, and she died on Christmas of all days. She was such a nice dog, and now she's gone forever. R.I.P. Daisy. Divorce. First Christmas after divorce here. Can't say I didn't think about her, but I'm happy to be where I'm in life with regards to my personal life. First Christmas separated. I was able to spend a few hours with my kids and my parents, siblings, etc. But when the kids became bored and were tearing up asking to go home, I broke down. I got them back with their mom, safe and sound, and cried for the next hour and a half. My Christmas wasn't nearly as bad as many here, but I was still surprised at how much heartache I felt today. Edit. You all are just awesome. Thank you for the thoughts and comments and awards. Today is a little better, but I'm also trying to stay grounded. Christmas dinner. Don't get me wrong, it was amazing, but I've been on the toilet for 25 minutes now, absolute destroying it, and maybe even the wildlife around my house. I need help. The real Christmas magic was inside you all along. My sister-in-law dying in a car crash. Duck, this is terrible. I'm so sorry. I hope you have some love and support. Thanks, it was my husband's sister. He flew across the country to be with his family. I can't travel, so I'm home with mine. We are both with family but apart. We will do our Christmas next weekend. Husband is a recovering alcoholic, and last night on Christmas Eve he relapsed following 1 year sober. I don't want to go through all that hell again, and I'm 8 months pregnant with no job and 1,000 miles from home. I seriously don't know what to do. I think I'm doomed. I'm so sorry to hear that, but as someone who is also in recovery, I will say, as long as he still wants to commit to a life of sobriety, his relapse doesn't mean anything more than a small setback, as long as he didn't do much damage last night. And as someone who has also relapsed, the recovery process gets easier each time. Again, this is all assuming he still wishes to be sober. If he's given up though, then I feel for you. You should not have to deal with that, and I'm so sorry. I wish you the best. Being on a Greyhound bus for 13 ducking hours. Being called selfish for having a migraine and ruining the festivities, and then getting socks, underwear, some pillows and random chocolate my mom and sister split the cost of because money was tight, while seeing my sister get JBL Bluetooth headphones, a JBL speaker and a JBL clip-on speaker my mom single-handedly bought her, but most of all, a migraine. Those ruin any day. Good grief, reminds me of my ex. One year for Christmas his wealthy grandma bought his sister a house and his brother a car. She bought him a box of chocolates. He's diabetic, she knows this. Been there. My sisters each got $2,000 cash this year. My wife and I got a whiteboard. And I too have gotten my share of migraines. If they don't mess with anyone's plans, who cares? But they fall on a family event. I'm the selfish one that is begging for 10 minutes to sit in a dark room with 4 pillows over my head to drown out the noise. That is my sister yelling her favorite story for the 14th time that wasn't funny the first time. My baby was stillborn at the beginning of December. I'm too heartbroken for Christmas cheer. Thank you everyone so much for your wonderful thoughts and words. I made sure everyone had a good Christmas. Then I spent the evening crying in my room. This means a lot, cause sometime I feel my sadness is a burden on others around me. I try to hide it, so not to bring everyone else down. But I feel sad 24 hours a day honestly. Thank you again everyone. You guys have no idea how much this means to me. I'm too heartbroken for Christmas cheer. That's perfectly fine. Let the healing process go on its own pace. You didn't ruin anything. I'm super late to this, but we ended up having a ducked up Christmas. We were going to my aunt's for dinner and took multiple cars. I'm in the house with most of my family, other than my mom. She parks across the street and starts to cross the road to the house. A guy comes flying down and nearly hits her. She gets pissed, swears at him, and kicks at his car as he passes by. He stops in the middle of the street, chases her down, and shoved her to the ground. She's 75 and on blood thinners, so the small gash on the back of her head was gushing blood. My dad and wife saw this go down, so they go flying out of the house yelling at the guy. Dad is standing in front of this guy's car yelling and trying to get his plates. The guy gets back in the car and guns it. Dad go rolling over the hood of the car and smashes onto the ground as the guy speeds off. He's also in his 70s, but is somehow okay. Multiple paramedics and sheriffs come. My mom had to get a couple of staples in her head, but all things considered, everyone is fine. But you know what? We did not let this ruin our Christmas. Mom made it home just in time for an amazing dinner. This happened 9 hours ago, and I'm still on edge. I watched my dad get hit and fly in the air, but couldn't see the result because of parked cars. There was a split second where I thought I had watched my dad die while I stood there with my 2-year-old. Fortunately he's fine. This was across from a very famous surf spot, so there are surf cams everywhere, and the cops already have video of the suspect's car, waiting for the news that he's been found. Edit. Thanks everyone for the kind words. Mom and dad are a little worse for wear this morning, but feeling good. I will update here if we end up getting any info from the police. Happy holidays. What an absolute piece of trash human. Imagine the kind of egotistical asshole you'd have to be to nearly run over an elderly person and then assault them for daring to be upset about it. I wouldn't wish death on anyone, but sometimes I can't help but feel that the world would be a better place of pieces of shit like that just drop dead. COVID. I can't smell or taste anything, so food sucked, and I couldn't spend time with my family properly. Ironically, getting a booster on Christmas Eve kicked my ass, kicked my partner's ass. We've laid in bed for most of the day. Hopefully you feel better soon. Having to hang out with my brother all day. I love the guy, but holy duck, he never shuts up. Ever. At all. I've got 3 years on him, and I'm certain he has flown past me in words spoken in a lifetime. It's exhausting. And whenever I act disinterested or just politely end the conversation, I'm the asshole. Are you my C's? We have the same brother. Voice is a monotonous drone that never stops. About literally any subject, especially the ones he obviously has no clue what he's saying. Arg. I unexpectedly and suddenly became a widow 30 days ago, leaving me with our special needs 5-year daughter, and I'm currently 24W pregnant. He went to bed and didn't wake up. Never ever dreamed I'd be a widow at 39 after 13 years together, 5.5 years married. No stars out of 5. Do not recommend. Found out today my wife of 10 years is cheating on me. Edit. Thank you all for all your kind words and support. Honestly, it makes me feel good to see support from people who don't even know me or have to say anything. I love you all very much. My mum told me I wasn't welcome at Christmas dinner, so I stayed home and got drunk and cried all night. We celebrate on the 24th and my family spent all of the 25th guilt tripping me for not showing up and telling me how my mum had hoped I would still show all night. So yeah, I'm the bad guy no matter what. Proceeded to get drunk on the 25th as well. Duck family. Someone in my family sent me an email anonymously saying the whole family was pretending I was dead this year. Said okay no problem and spent a great Christmas with my so's family. Duck blood. That is the most manipulative, unnecessarily cruel bullshit 4D chess power play that I have ever heard of. I'm so sorry your family plays games with you like that. That is a truly horrible thing to do to a family member, let alone a daughter/son. I don't really celebrate it, but this is my first Christmas so alone. I always spent Christmas Day flying out to my grandmother, but she just died. I'm in New York City and on semi-lockdown. Also my half and half for coffee turned prematurely and I can't get more tilty MW. Edit. Thanks to everyone for all the kind replies to this comment. Hope you all have a happy new year. My mole pining over her grandchildren she can't be with. I've had 3 miscarriages this year. No kids. 4 years of IVF. We are talking about quitting and living child free. It has been the hardest Christmas. I hope the new year brings you joy, no matter how things turn out. My grandma asked if I was pregnant because my stomach I guess was sticking out a little. Didn't appreciate that one. My granny always goes this, usually with a hand on my belly. She's 91 and an angel. I just say, nope, ma'am or just need to poop. She then tells me how great I look with some weight on me. I hug her anyway. My depression. Edit. Thank you for all of the upvotes. I've been dealing with my depression for 13 years and have been suicidal about a dozen times. Not attempted but wanting for death. And the thing I know that helps with all of it is connection. And I wish I could connect with all of you that are struggling and hurting. Honestly if I could Zoom call everyone hurting, I would. If anyone wants to talk please DM me. I hope for strength for everyone in the new year. Been a lot of years ago, but I traveled a long way with my fiancée and her 2 kids. One was calling me daddy because she never knew her father at all. We go to my grandparents and meet my parents and spend 2 nights. My folks go home and we drive to her parents' place. Out of the blue her personality changes and when she isn't biting my head off, she is giving me the silent treatment. After 2 days of this I corner her and ask what is up and she tells me that she no longer loves me and wants to break up. Next day we drive to 12 hours without a word spoken between us though I tried a few times to get her to talk, get back to her place, and get ignored again. I go to a separate room and make reservations back to my parents because I have nowhere to go. I was on leave from the military, spent the rest of my vacation licking my wounds and hating the world. Damn bro that's harsh. The little one calling you daddy cuts me to the bone. I hope she and you find better people. Family members testing positive after we had already spent time together. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be the news for a lot of people for the next 48 hours. My ex was married 20 years, had 1 daughter, have been divorced for 5. Yesterday she asked to come back home. I had to force myself to say no. It was hard and made me sad thinking we could have been together if she hadn't made the decisions she did 5 years ago. Good for you to say no. You're probably better off, but no doubt that was difficult. Husband tested positive for COVID. Again. We did this last year, same week. Not a tradition I want to maintain. It's frustrating and lonely. I have to work, so we are living on 2 different floors of the house. I wouldn't say ruined, but I decided, just before leaving work for vacation, that 2022 will be the year I kick alcohol to the curb for good. I've been to rehab before, so I know what to expect from detoxing, and I feel confident to do so without supervision. With that said, insomnia has traditionally been a big issue for me during my prior attempts to go clean. I'm currently on day 3 without sleep, and don't feel it's coming anytime soon. I've been up for dangerous amounts of time before, and I've felt so miserable all day today while visiting family. I just hope I get some reprieve before my alcoholic brain convinces me to drink, just to finally get some sleep. Other than that, I've really counted my blessings, and have done some reflection on how I need to take care of myself going forward. I finally quit this year, after landing in the air with ascites and a collapsed lung due to so much fluid in my abdomen that made its way into my chest. You know how they drain fluid from the cavity around your lung when your liver can't process it anymore? They stick a giant needle between 2 ribs in your back and slowly drain it out while your lung reinflates. You end up coughing up the fluid that made it into your lungs for something like 20 to 30 minutes, non-stop. Literally non-stop. Don't hit physical rock bottom, dude, when you get through tonight. Tomorrow night's a little easier. It's just about stacking up days. I'm 9 months sober and feel great. You can do it. Mom's anger issues. 2:47 am now as I type this, and everyone is sleeping. We're talking plans for next year Christmas. Mom doesn't want girlfriend and I to share a room. I'm in my late 20s. I asked why the ridiculous rule, when they weren't religious like that to begin with, ended with mom screaming I'm what is wrong with this world and no one believes in God anymore. She then started to pack to leave early. Dad talked her to stay. Now it's silence today, and tomorrow as we wait in separate rooms, mom watches TV in silence. All under my house mind you. Edit. I should clarify, we are at my house this year for Christmas. My girlfriend is in her home country for now. Christmas 2022 was going to be at my parents' house. My mom don't want us to sleep together under their roof, but she is still passively aggressively saying where will my girlfriend stay when she visits me in the States, implying not my house. We will sleep together my house 100%. It's your house. She doesn't make the rules there. There's no reason anyone should be screaming at you in your own house unless you set the Christmas tree on fire. Set some boundaries and be crystal clear with her about them. If she doesn't like it then tell her she can think it over while she's headed home. If she gets away with that behavior once then she'll do it again. Boo-ha-ha-ha, someone trying to make rules in your home. Tell them to kick rocks. For the first time in years, nothing. My so and I got clean and sober over the past year, have been rebuilding our lives, working very hard. This year despite many small inconveniences and trials, we have ended Christmas more in love with each other. It's super weird but super good. My family's horrible habit of eating and running back home. It bugs me that I and my husband spent all day cooking just for them to show up, eat and then leave within an hour. I even asked if we could not do that this year. They agreed but did it anyway. It hurts. I think that next year you and your husband should take that food money and put it towards a night and room service at a nice hotel. You deserve to be the ones that are treated well and fed by others for once. Might be time to step away from that tradition. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to my channel for more curated daily Reddit stories.